Now, Russia's defense ministry says Kyiv staged, quote, a terrorist attack using 8 drones on its capital city, but that Russian air defences managed to intercept them. Ukrainian officials, though, denying any involvement in those attacks. But one official did admit that Ukraine enjoyed watching the events, predicting an increase in such attacks. It comes also, though, as Kyiv's been enduring its 3rd air raid in 24 hours. Well, let's speak now to former Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, who can join us once more here on GB News. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Mr. Poroshenko. Just first of all, your assessment of what's been taking place in Moscow and this assertion by Russia that Ukraine attacked their capital.
First of all, I do not comment anything, who do that, why they do that, but Russia must feel at least a part of the pain which feel Ukrainian people, Ukrainian children, Ukrainian civilians. You can imagine that every single night, me was awakened from the Russian missile, Russian Shahid, and Ukrainian air defense. And this is happening 17 times only these months. You can imagine what you feel when you see the line of the children who is afraid very much because of the Russian shelling and try to find out a shelter in the metro station. That will remember that for all of their lives. And we were applaud to our air defense, which destroyed 95% of the Russian missile and Russian attack drones. And if anybody can speak about that terroristic war and terroristic attack, this is the attack of the terrorist Putin and terrorist Russian regime against unprovoked attack against European Ukrainian nation. And definitely we improved day by day. And I am proud that since year 2014, the building Ukrainian air defense, which covered Kyiv, is starting by me. And we're investing a lot to create a cupola which destroy Russian plan. What Russia is looking, they want that Kyiv and Kyivites, Ukrainian, was panicked and distressed. And instead of that, we demonstrated that we are decisive and we definitely fighting for our victory. Yesterday and today I was in the parliament as a leader of the 2nd biggest Ukrainian parliamentary fraction. Right above the parliament, we have the air defense which successfully destroyed the Russian cruise missiles. And we learn how to live in the condition of the permanent Russian attack. But please, Russian, do not expect that that would be for you a special military operation in Ukraine. No, you feel everything what feel now Ukrainian people.
On the attacks, I think the 17th that you've suffered since the start of May in terms of the aerial attacks, do you believe that they're trying to use up your air defense munitions, that they keep sending their drones across to use up your missile stock?
First of all, because of our cooperation with our partners, we have more and more ammunition for our air defense, more and more ammunition for our artillery, and I want especially grateful for the Great Britain, for the United Kingdom, for air defense missile and for the Storm Shadow missile, long-range missile. You were a leader in the world who gave the first missile to Ukrainian armed forces, and because of using this missile, we have an opportunity to destroy Russian logistics, to destroy Russian commanding point, to destroy Russian ammunition storage. Yeah. And with that situation, we make Russia weaker and we make Ukraine stronger, undoubtedly. Also because of...
Yeah, you did touch on the strain that this is having, and of course many people will draw the parallel with the Blitz in London, World War II, and the V1, the so-called doodlebugs. I think these drones coming across make a similar noise. What sort of psychological impact is all this having on your countrymen?
Look, not everybody hear the noise from Shahid, because this is like a motorcycle, and not everybody, but many of them hear the noise of like a jet from the Russian cruise missile. But the blast, it's impossible to sleep. And all Kyiv, 17 times a month, were awakened from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. And all Kyiv hear the blast, and unfortunately some Kyivites are wounded from civilian, and some Kyivites were killed. And this is why, because Russia make an attack on the civilian object, on the residential area, on the object of the critical energy infrastructure. They want to kill us, and we want to live. We are strong. We are strong, united, and it will be stopped as soon as the Ukraine would be a NATO member state. That's why we are very much appreciate the support of Ukrainian NATO membership aspiration from Great Britain. And the sooner it happens, the better, including the invitation which should happen on the Vilnius NATO summit.
Yes, this will be in the coming month in June, of course. But just to return to what has happened in Moscow, do your intelligence people tell you that perhaps this is Russian dissidents within the country who've been launching these attacks? Because, of course, we did see an operation on the ground as well, where there was an incursion into Russia.
Is it possible that that would be Russian partisan? My answer is yes. Is it possible that that would be the Russian brigade or group which participate to destabilize, to make Russia weaker? My answer is yes. Is it a regular Ukrainian armed forces? My answer is I seriously doubt.
But clearly there are those within Ukraine who will be looking perhaps with some satisfaction at what has happened in terms of what you've been suffering there in Kyiv and elsewhere.
Look, Russia should be under a constant insecurity as long as the war in Ukraine happened. Russia should understand that the same like in Ukraine. Can you imagine? In Ukraine, there is no any safe place. Definitely the most dangerous is in the battlefield. And tomorrow I go with the artillery truck, with the multi-lift, go to the battlefield tomorrow in less than 24 hours. But there is no safe place in Ukraine. And I really want to send a message to Russia. It would be no safe place in Russia. Remember that.
You did say you were going to the battlefield tomorrow. Does that indicate that your counter-offensive is going to be taking place shortly?
Definitely. The time of our counter-offensive, if it would start, if not within hours, but definitely within days. But Russia should know that this is not a Second World War. This is the modern war, and Russia should understand that Ukraine can launch it's not a counter-offensive. This is our offensive operation that should start any moment, at any place. And definitely these tactics, this is a NATO tactics, NATO standard, bring us the victory, because the surprise effect can give us some privileges.